Hi there, welcome back. For this project, we're going to need 3 colors of 1.5 millimeter synthetic rope. We will also need a lighter, preferably one that works. And of course, we're going to need a keychain clip. Mine's on a D-ring that is 1 inch in diameter, plus a tapestry needle. And of course, scissors. And if you're working on a board like I am, you're going to need some pins. But if you're not working on a board, you will probably need some masking tape to hold down your project. Okay, let's get started. Attach all 5 cords onto your D-ring using a lark's head knot. To tie a lark's head knot, fold your cord in half, take the loop end and place it through your D-ring, and then wrap your tail ends through the loop and pull through. Now I did measure our cord length quite long, so please don't come at me in the comments. I just wanted to make sure that everyone had the correct length and be able to adjust the size of your wristlet. So don't hate me, I was trying to look out for you. Okay, so pull aside the 2 end pieces, that will be your filler cords, and I like to tie an overhand knot at each end so that we don't get confused later on. Next, we're going to form our half hitches. So what we're going to do is just loop it around our fingers, just like that. And we're going to collect them onto our left hand. So keep grabbing the next cord and making a loop and sliding it onto your fingers. As you're working, try to keep them in order, but it's okay if they get a little jumbled. It will straighten out later, you will see. Okay, so now we have a giant collection of loops, which is good because we're going to be using the 2 outer cords and sliding it right through the center. So in goes the right hand cord, making sure you slide them through all of them. And keep pulling through until all of your slack is all the way through. Next, switch hands. I do find it a lot easier than maneuvering around. And then take the left hand side cord and we're going to fish it right through the center of our loop again. And pull all your slack through. As I said before, don't worry if your cords get a little jumbled up, we will fix it. What is important though is that your 2 filler cords are intersecting each other crosswise. Now we can drop our loops and tighten up the slack. Since I'm using my handy dandy board, it will hold my filler cords for me. If you don't have a board, you can definitely use masking tape. If you're interested in purchasing one of these boards, I'll leave a link in the description box where you can find them. They're actually really inexpensive and very handy. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're tightening up the slack by pulling each cord in the order that it's attached to our D-ring. Now, if they are a little bit jumbled, that's okay because we can maneuver it around just a little bit, but it is easier if you keep it in order as best as you can. Once you've gone through them all, pull your 2 filler cords so that it's perfectly in line. And then you guessed it, we're repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Because this is such an easy and repetitive project, what I like to do is watch TV while I work. Right now I'm watching season 4 of Stranger Things, and that's why this project has a little bit of a retro vibe. I don't know, I can just picture myself wearing a brightly colored 80s windbreaker jacket while sporting this keychain. Anyways, after you've done a few rows, you can see the pattern really start taking shape, and it's just as pretty on the back as it is on the front. And after binge watching a few episodes of your favorite TV show, it should be close to being done. Mine is measuring at about 15.5 inches or about the length of my macrame board. To keep things tidy, I'm just going to loosely tie our middle cords with an overhand knot. That just keeps everything out of our way while we work. While I'm at it, I'm going to untie the overhand knots on both of our filler cords. Then I'm going to thread one of them through our tapestry needle. And don't worry, we're not sewing anything. What we're going to do is we're going to fold our keychain in half, or almost in half, I should say. And right after the 5th row, I am going to insert my tapestry needle right through the side. And we're going to pull that all the way through. And then we're going to repeat to the opposite side with our other filler cord and pull that through. Now, working on the back side, with our filler cords, we're going to tie 2 square knots. And we're going to tie the 2 square knots around our entire keychain. To tie a square knot, you take your leftmost cord, you place it over top of your center cords, Then you take your rightmost cord, wrap it behind and through the loop of your left. Then you repeat on the opposite side. So make a loop on your right, take your left cord and place it behind and through your right loop. Now, if that was too fast for you, feel free to adjust the speed of this video by tapping the 3 dots on the top right corner. Okay, so once you've tied 2 square knots, we're going to snip off all of our center cords. And don't panic because we're going to melt the ends so that they don't slip through. Next, continue tying your square knots until you reach the base of your D-ring. Now, because I'm paranoid, I'm going to flip it back over and we're going to go straight down again with more square knots. This is going to make it super secure. You will not be losing any keys on my watch, that's for sure. Also, by tying a second row of square knots, it does close in any gaps that you may have. Next, thread your tapestry needle again, and then I'm going to go up 3 or 4 bars of our square knots. Repeat to the other side. And then snip off your ends, and again, don't panic because we're going to melt it and seal it so that it will not come loose. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're new here, I sure hope you consider subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.